I'm Nancy Smith. I'm the director here at Great Arizona Puppet Theater, also one of the founders and puppeteers. Puppetry was always something I did as a child and growing up. I was a theater student and I kept doing puppets, and then I finally figured out, gee, I keep doing puppets and I keep having ideas for more puppet shows. Maybe I'm a puppeteer, so that's what I did. We founded Great Arizona Puppet Theater in 1983. We bought this building in 1996. It was originally a Mormon church. When we bought it, it took us 3 years of renovation just to get the doors open. So we bought it when it was a real wreck, and we've been continuously renovating it ever since. You know, the building was beautiful. We wanted to bring it back to its former glory. And so we did research. We tried to find out as much as we could about the way it was originally, and then do as much as we could to bring it back to that, yet still have it function as a puppet theater rather than a church.
My name's Gwen Bonner, and I'm the Assistant Artistic Director here at the Great Arizona Puppet Theater. It's a really fancy title for that I do a lot of puppet shows. My parents are the founders, so I started performing with them when I was about 8 years old. I like the concept of bringing something that has no life, this kind of spirit and soul, and getting other people to kind of believe in that. I think that's really cool.
I never said, you know, I didn't have that as a dream that my children would become puppeteers. That's what Gwen wants to do, and she's really good at it, so I'm delighted.
So we have a school that's right across the street from us called Kenilworth. And those kids were actually some of the first audience members that stepped foot inside this building. We knew we wanted to build something more with it.
Okay, so within scene one, we're going to be looking for the introduction. Okay, that's where you're generalizing and introducing the setting, the characters.
And so we developed this project called Imagine This, where the 2nd through 8th graders at Kenilworth School, everybody writes a short story.
And the details, and then that's where it's like they all lived happily ever after. Okay, so in these paragraphs, these are actually going to be your paragraphs, but they're becoming scenes.
And then they turn it over to us. All of those stories are read. Out of all of those stories, 2 are selected from each grade level.
Okay, because you can use very descriptive words and use personification.
And then we, the puppeteers, are given stories. Usually each puppeteer is working on 2 to 3 stories that they're going to be building. We turn their story that they wrote into a script, and then we start building it to a puppet show.
Finish it, turn it into the turn-in folder, and let me know when you turn it in, and I'll print it for you right away.
Sometimes the kids have input as far as what style of puppet they're going to want. Sometimes they've drawn pictures as to what they think they're gonna look like. We encourage them to write descriptions about the characters so that we have as much to build off of as possible. After the shows are built, which all of those shows are built in about a month, which is usually, 14 shows, then they're put on as one big production. So you've got all these different stages in this room with all these different productions going on. So the kids are seeing 14 short shows in one full production. And the entire school gets to come and see it, and the kids get to come see it for free. The after-school kids come, they help us make puppets with it all too, and scenery. And so all of the peer kids and all of the authors get to come with their friends and family to our authors' night. And they're given prizes, and we all party, and it's a good time.
It's the kind of project I like to do quite a bit, like throw things together and working with kids' stories. So it's always fun to see what their storytelling ability is, and then interpret it into something, cool.
It's great. Like I tell people, I figured out what I want to be when I grow up, and I'm actually doing it, and that is mind-blowing to me on a regular basis. Like, I feel so lucky that I get to go and be a puppeteer for a living, and that's super cool. And this is a great place to be doing it.
I'll try not to tell that many jokes anymore. The clock never told a joke to someone when they were in a hurry, only on April Fool's Day.
Oh,
That's really cute.
that's a great one.
That's really cute, and that's a good puppet one.
It was almost Lila's birthday, and she planned to celebrate it with her family at her own house.
Police got her and ate the sweet, yummy-looking cotton candy as a reward. I took Maddie to jail and walked away. Let's put Ice Cream Boy down, and they'll put Robati as a maybe. Then she realized that she had to fix her mistake so that her and the giants do not go into war.
They ran as fast as they could back. When they got there, their mom was nowhere to be found.
Oh, no.
The smoke of the fire was getting stronger each minute.
The evil elf's name was Jamie. He was the most evilest of all the elves.
How much is 1 cup of lemonade, said the customer. It is only 25 cents per cup, said Joe. $100 later. Sold a lot of lemonade, my friend. Finally, I sold all of the lemonade.
And the chocolate mothership was full of candy warriors, and they went back to Sugar World. The end.
Valeria went back to the castle and asked the queen, why don't you like the giants? They're too sloppy, they block the sunlight, and they're too loud. Don't you think that since you say that, they feel bad? The queen said, no, I don't think so.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then what else was in the tops?
Oh, I think it's rose up.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Then the hot dogs rose up. The bananas rose up, and they started fighting the hot dogs. Oh, this makes sense now.
One day, Bob turned into a monster
Oh no.
and chased Sandy all around the house.
Then out of nowhere, a bunny hops out of the bushes and in front of them, and then pokes them with a carrot.
Bob cries out loud and says, I am turning 2 tomorrow and I still don't have hair. What do I do? Now in pep talk mode, we'll make this zero of a person into a hero and still manage to make Christmas great.
And we've got a lot of adventure. We've got a lot of action happening in Turtle One too.
Sometimes these stories are like a paragraph long, so how do we expand that a little bit into more, but keeping really the essence of their story, interpreting from basically a piece of prose into a piece of theater.
Is everybody solidly in agreement with that story? That's awfully good.
Yeah.
It's like, how can we not? Okay.
I can't even go. I can't even go.
And our friends are here today from the Great Arizona Puppet Theater, and they are so happy to continue to offer our students, and only our students, this opportunity to submit stories. There's a winner in this classroom. Somebody's story is going to become a puppet show.
There is one winner in this class. The story is called Hot Dogs versus Bananas, and it's by Bobby McKay. I think you get.
Congratulations, dude! Yeah!
I think everybody's gonna laugh a whole bunch at your story.
Thank you. Who's the other one over here?
Mariana's getting to be an old hand at this. She's won 3 times
Oh
now.
my goodness. Thank you. Awesome. Good job, lady.
Congratulations, you guys. Thank you. Good job. And the first one was a story called The Weird Dog, and that is by Brandon Larimore. And the other one is The Magical Adventurous Gerbil. Very good. The first one is Lost Paths, Turtle Edition by Zach Garcia.
Out of you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. And I have your approval. Ready to go? You take it again.
I wanted to be able to produce yours, but another puppeteer took it. But anyway, but he'll do a good job, I'm sure. Okay. And we do this every year, so keep thinking and writing us stories. You've got many more chances to win. Good job. We're excited to do your story.
I love working with Nancy and Gwen and Lisa and now Gavin. I'd always been interested in puppets, but I never really thought that I would ever perform with them, let alone make them.
You know, I find any puppet shows I work with, certain stories, a certain type of puppetry just really calls out to it, like this is this type of puppet show.
These kids are writing stories, and then their whole school is seeing their story come to life. So that's kind of cool. I mean, when we're working on it, we're mostly thinking about, which puppet am I going to use? What am I going to make? What kind of puppets? You know, we get kind of caught in what I call the reality of puppetry, which is making the stuff and making the stuff work and everything. But then when it all comes together, somebody's had a vision, and we're trying to, you know, put our spin on that vision too, and letting everyone see it. It's kind of neat. It's good for the puppeteers too. It stretches our creativity. We're creating something new. We know it's only going to be performed, you know, for that week, which is unusual for us because usually we create a show and it may be done for 30 years or something. It's something brand new that came out of a kid's head, and then we'll kind of elaborate on it a little bit or try and make it work as a piece of theater done with puppetry. The first times I ever did puppet show, Santa Claus brought me a puppet theater when I was 5. We lived in Germany at the time. We didn't have television. We didn't even have American radio. So we were constantly making our own entertainment. The wonderful thing about puppetry is a puppet can be anything. It can be an animal, it can be a plant or whatever. But there's also a whole range of styles of puppetry that you can use to present a show. You can use a hand puppet, you know, marionettes, shadow puppets, all kinds of things. When looking at the stories, we're kind of thinking about what is going to be the best kind of puppet to present this show, to really tell this story.
I love working with the after-school kids.
Should this puppet have pants or maybe a skirt?
So what we're gonna do, if your puppet looks like this, we're gonna add hair onto them today. If we don't get your puppets completed so that they're going to be in the show, they'll be completed afterwards, and you guys will still be able to take them home. Deal?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's project 1. We're finishing up those.
We're going to make you guys into customers, so I'm going to give everybody's picture today. So look like you really want some ice cream, okay? I'm going to get everybody's picture.
Yeah, just cut a slit in there and then it'll fall down into the ice cream.
We're going to draw the faces on so that way you can plan out what the faces look like ahead of time before you do the detail.
Drowning in lava? What's this story about? This is a story called The Dragon Said Me.
Yeah.
About parents, that's the issue like this.
Okay.
Are you all done? You want to put more things on it? You're all done? Go ahead and put it in your bag. I'm going to go to Miss Nancy and work on your last one.
Make like a Can you say
I'm going to ruin the day you brought this. Do you want to put more decorations on it?
So you're just going to go over the whole thing like that. And just hold it from the top and the bottom like that. So when you avoid getting paint, you'll end up getting paint on your fingers. Yeah.
There you go. Good talk, guys.
So I can cut a smaller piece for you. No, that's too much.
Just slip into that hand and you can grab it when that comes through. Okay? You got no puppet with that.
You can make your villagers into whatever you want. If you want to have your villager be a knight, we can try to work on that. If you want to have your villager be a jester, we can do that. If you want to have your villager be a princess, we can do that too.
Isn't this cute? I didn't know it was. It's
There's an earthquake, rumble. Whoa. And that's Albert looking. Oh yeah, comes there. Albert comes in looking. And then Richard comes in. Goes.
Oh, that's exciting.
And let's go black out. Yeah.
Then when you unflip, then I flip this, and I've got this going on.
Albert went to open the box. Richard, are you insane? They'll release all the evil into our universe.
They'll look. They'll find the box. Then we'll switch to you. Got the happy ending they deserved. They never opened a box after that event.
It's so bizarre setting up Christmas on Halloween.
Noisy neighbors. Right. And the weird dog, but the weird dog is going to be easy.
Say something else.
Play monster now. Didn't have enough room to do that.
Okay, you need to go forward back.
Okay. All right, now, when the dog wants to play with him, Dane, the dog should be acting more like a dog. He should be like jumping around.
So make it this obsessive thing with the play. So it's play, 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 play. And then even when he's like running around chasing him, you just keep saying play instead of roaring. And I think it's gonna make it less threatening. And then the cat's gonna be like, oh, play.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get the lights set.
Okay.
Oh, great. Thanks for the caretaking, everybody.
If you could shake it a little bit, I'd love that.
Ready to move?
Yes, sir.
We're moving on now.
Faster, Gavin, faster!
I was thinking, don't we want to like this?
How many lights did you decide we were going to put on that?
The lights are about Christmas. Oh, we're going to do things, and it's going to be exciting. I'll have a bow tie and a hat, and I think there's talk of shoes. It's very, very wonderful.
I was doing when I was double grabbing the ball.
It's going to be great.
This is so fancy. I bet you they used to say.
So you guys are here today for Imagine This, which is a whole collection of stories written by kids that go to a school called Kenilworth. We're going to get started with our first of our 14 short stories from our Imagine This 2016 program, and we hope you guys all enjoy.
The Noisy Neighbors by Julia Reyes in 3rd grade.
Hi, Miss Janet. Oh, well, hello, Jake and Cassandra. My goodness, I haven't seen you two in a while.
They investigated more and found out
They never opened a box after that event. The end.
Oh boy, hot dogs, bananas, yum!
Whoa! What is going on here? I hate hot dogs!
I don't like this at all.
No, you can't put us on hot dogs!
Stop!
What?
And the bananas rose up.
Attack the hot dogs!
Yeah, go get them! Yeah, take that, you hot dog!
Take that!
I'm gonna get them!
The little dragon started meowing, barking, and even chirping. And that is how to respect everyone.
Next story is called The Weird Dog by Brandon Larimore in 4th grade.
Oh boy, I'm gonna teach you all kinds of things. I'm gonna teach you how to sit. Oh, you mean like this?
Who's a good boy? Who loves the meat lovers? Come on, you good boy! Come on, you good boy!
And from that day on, Alex and Max were the best of friends. The end.
Some sort of man burrito. Here we go. We'll walk back to the house. All right. Now let's crawl in the bed here.
Oh,